Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're not just handling objections, we're mastering them with the mindset of a challenger. Most people see objections as setbacks, something to be avoided or overcome. They get defensive, they back down, they lose control of the conversation. But the challenger sees objections as opportunities, opportunities to teach, to challenge assumptions, and to lead the customer to a new way of thinking. The challenger just simply doesn't just answer questions, they reframe the entire conversation. They use objections to demonstrate their expertise, to build credibility, and to guide the customer towards a breakthrough. So here's how to master objections like a challenger. One, we want to embrace the objection, so don't shy away from them. Welcome objections as a chance to deepen the conversation and demonstrate the value you have. That's why they need a salesperson. Challenge assumptions. Don't just accept the objection at face value. Dig deeper. Uncover the underlying beliefs and assumptions and challenge them with thought-provoking questions. You want to reframe the perspective. Offer a new way of looking at the situation. Provide data, insight, and stories that challenges the customer's current perspective and opens their mind to new possibilities. You also want to lead with confidence. Don't be afraid to take control of the conversation. Lead the customer towards a solution that truly benefits them, even if it means challenging their initial objections. And honestly, I've found the best way to handle objections are to do it early in your sales conversation. If you can get those to come up before you get to close, it's way more powerful if you can attack those head on than play defensive on the back end when you're trying to close a sale. And sometimes those will still come up at the end. So when you handle objections like a challenger, you transform the sales conversation. You build trust, you establish credibility, and position yourself as a trusted advisor. So let's dive in to some of the real world objection handling scenarios, and we'll show you how a challenger tackles each one. So one we all hear in sales is, I need to think about it. This one's a classic, the think about it objection. It seems harmless, but it can be a smokescreen hiding the real concern. So the challenger doesn't back down. They pierce the smokescreen with questions, typically like, besides wanting to think about it, do you feel this will help you get to where you want to go? They'll likely say yes, especially if they do see the value. Can you help me understand what specifically you want to think about? Maybe I can help clarify some of those things right now. Right? Or hey, before our next call, what might be some of the things you'll be taking time to think about? That way I can address those when we talk again. And give them an opportunity to share what those are. And typically when they want to think about it, either they don't see the value in your solution, or they don't have a clear path. They don't see a clear path on how they'll get, or how your solution will get them where they want to go. All right, so objection number 2, it's too expensive, or I can't afford it. Right? So the money objection, it's a common one, but a challenger knows how to reframe it. So you might say something like, hey, if money were no object, do you feel like this could get you the results you want? If they were to say yes to that, okay, well, since you see the value, how do you feel you could make this investment in your success? We want them to start selling themselves and start telling them how they see the value in this. And then maybe it's, okay, can I really want to help you do this. I can see you see the value, or you can see how this would help you. Can I ask you some questions about your financial situation? And maybe that's where you figure something out or come up with something creative. Often they've got to talk themselves through how they can come up with the money, how they can justify the cost, and you have an opportunity to do that when that objection comes forward. Objection number 3, I need to talk to my spouse or partner. Me and my wife have a agreed understanding that if one of us are talking to a salesperson and the other one isn't there, we're allowed to throw our spouse under the bus and say we can't move forward without speaking to them. Even like, that's just a rule in our house. My wife, she typically doesn't care if I'm the one buying something, I'm the one making the decision. Okay. So with the spouse or the partner objection, a challenger knows it's often not about the spouse. It's about uncovering another real concern. So what we don't want to do is make it all about the spouse when that concern comes up. So what I would do to reframe this situation is I might ask something like, hey, besides your spouse being okay with you moving forward, do you feel this is the right solution for you? So I want to acknowledge the spouse, but say, hey, like, if your spouse said okay to this, would this be the right fit? Okay, yes. Okay, so how does your spouse feel about you fixing this problem in your business? How does your spouse feel about you hitting the goals you said you have this year? Okay, what's kept you from solving that previously? And oftentimes, if we can have a good dialogue and ask some good questions, we're going to find other objections coming forward. Maybe it's about the value, maybe it's about money or something else. And so don't trust that spouse objection at face value. So these are just a few examples, but the challenger approach is consistent. You have to embrace the objection, challenge assumptions, reframe the perspective, and lead with confidence. Think of it like this. Objections, they're not roadblocks. They're detours. They may take you off your planned route, but they can also lead you to a more scenic and rewarding path. But only the challenger has the courage and the skills to navigate those detours and turn them into opportunities. So ditch the defensive tactics and embrace the challenger mindset. Master the art of objection handling, turn no into yes, and lead your customers into a better future. I'm Drew Norton, the Everyday Sales Leader, and this is your daily dose of sales inception.